AITA for asking my friend to stop the way she shows off her before shots when she's refashioning my clothes. I am a plus-sized gal who is really into fashion. I usually donate my clothes unless I can resell them. My friend Katie is really into refashioning clothes from thrift stores. She buys plus-sized clothes and then alters them into her size with a lot of other changes, like making them into crop tops or mini skirts or things. It's a really popular creative thing to do. Well, she asked me if she could have first pick of my clothes because I'm actually larger than what she usually finds, and it'll give her more material to work with. I said sure and would let her pick through my stuff I didn't want, but asked her to tag me in her posts and point people to my shop where I sell the nicer things. She started showing off her refashion stuff on Instagram and I was excited. Until I saw the way she did it. In Katie's before shots she makes these really exaggerated grossed out faces where she's draped in the oversized clothes. Or she'll do that face where she blows out her cheeks and holds the clothes out as wide as she can and does a cross-eyed expression. It's really obvious to the viewer that she's trying to mimic a really overweight person. Like me. When I saw that, my stomach dropped and I just couldn't shake the bad feeling it gave me. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and asked her why she was making those expressions in the before shots, and she said she just thought it was funny. I told her that to be honest, it felt hurtful, as I'm the one who gave her the clothes and it looks like she's just straight up making fun of me and my body, especially since she tags me. She told me that I'm being hypersensitive. I asked her to please just not make those faces. She told me something like after you give me the clothes they aren't yours anymore, so you aren't really in the position to tell me what to do. I thought about that for a while and in the end I did agree. If I give her the clothes they're hers to do whatever she wants with. So my solution is that I'm just not going to give her any more of my clothes. I told her that and she blew up on me, telling me that I'm just looking for a reason to be offended and if I'm this insecure, I should be working on bettering myself. AITA for asking her to stop what she was doing in the first place. Since I'd given her the clothes, I just wanted to thank everyone for the responses. I didn't expect this to blow up. I want to reiterate that I don't think her refashioning plus-sized clothes is the issue. A lot of people do it and it's great to use items before they just end up in the landfill. Plus for everyone saying she should just go buy fabric like everyone else, good apparel fabric is so expensive in comparison to what you can find at the thrift shop. NTA. Katie made a very excellent point that once those clothes were hers she could do what she likes with them. You took that logic to the next step and decided the clothes wouldn't be hers. Perfectly reasonable. And I'm sorry your friend is a jerk. NTA. A good friend, when told they're doing something that hurts the other friend, apologizes and stops. They don't blame the friend for being hurt by something that is honestly pretty rude. She's not making a funny face, she's being rude and insulting. Oh, wow, no, NTA. You politely told her something she was doing was painful to you and she told you your feelings were less important to her than her attachment to making some dumb faces in pictures. That's a weird hill to die on, and certainly a crummy friend. Also worth noting that if her work photos ever really take off, other plus-sized folks are likely to find this aspect of her work offensive and hurtful as well, because it is offensive and hurtful. And then instead of dealing with one friend politely asking her to correct her behavior, she'll be at the center of one of those never-ending internet firestorms, particularly if she digs into her stance like she did with you. I'm sorry someone you consider a friend is being so deliberately unkind. You deserve better. NTA. You're under no obligation to give her your things, and her unwillingness to accommodate a reasonable request. Don't grossly caricature plus-sized people as a fun way to advertise your refashioning, is a good reason to end this arrangement. A reaction to your decision is a good reason to reevaluate the friendship, frankly. Not only that, but that seems like the obvious logical consequence here. What did Katie think was going to happen? Question mark. Please stop mocking me with my old stuff I give you. No, it's not your stuff after you give it to me. Okay, I will stop giving you stuff. Shocked Pikachu face. AITA for buying my 21M stepmom 50F a burger of her own because she keeps picking food off of me and my siblings' plates. My stepmom is a nutritionist. She's always about eating the right foods, meal prep, fresh groceries, etc. Occasionally, my dad, 52M, my siblings, 21F, 20M, and 23M, and I like to get some junk food, we call these junk ups, on the weekend. Now the problem, since forever, my stepmom has told us that we're going to die because we're eating fatty foods. I promise, we only eat junk food on the weekends, or on special occasions. The last time I had anything unhealthy was my sister's birthday a few weeks ago, and come in while we're eating with a plate for herself and picks the foods she wants from each of our plates. Whenever me or one of my siblings questioned this, she would tell us, "You're being disrespectful, shut up, I can eat what I want," or "It would be a waste of time to buy me one because I don't want one." I want to make it clear that she does not buy any of the food for our junk ups. Either I buy for everyone or one of my siblings do. Just yesterday, we decided to get burger. This time, I bought food and one of my siblings said, "You know what, let mom one too because you know she'll just pick off of our plates anyways." And my dad grumbled something about her not liking that, but I didn't care. I figured she would come around to us buying her a burger too. Perhaps she felt excluded, which was definitely not our intention. When we got home and set our plates to eat, in came my stepmom with her own plate, and before she could start picking, I put the wrapped burger on her plate and said, "Here you go. That was one's all yours. No need to pick at our plates now." She was infuriated with me and screamed at my dad to do something about me, and went on and on about how I was being disrespectful towards her and that I needed to learn to share and that I'm too old to be selfish. I just sat there, unwrapped my burger, and ate. My siblings later told me that maybe we shouldn't have done that because now my stepmom has been stewing about it for some time now. Edit, I went to do my laundry and nap, and when I came back, I saw that my post blew up. Thank you for your advice and the Reddit silver. To clarify some points made in the comments, with burgers or something that you can't easily take a piece of, my stepmom would come in with a knife and fork and cut into it to get herself a slice. Also, I don't know if she has any mental illnesses. I've never asked. I think once she calms down we can talk. When we talk, I will update everyone. Thanks again. Here you go. That was one's all yours. No need to pick at our plates now. She was infuriated with me and screamed at my dad to do something about me, and went on and on about how I was being disrespectful towards her and that I needed to learn to share and that I'm too old to be selfish. NTA. This is great karma, well done. NTA, you are sharing a whole ass burger. It pisses me off when I offer something to someone and they say no, only to take from my portion of the food. I love all the Asperger and Joey references, and I'm glad I'm not the only one willing to defend my food. Natasha needs to grow up and get her own plate. It's rude to always eat off someone's plate. If you're trying something for the first time or you offer something to them, but to assume every time is rude. What's the weirdest part is that she has her own plate just for storing the pickings from other people's plates? Question mark. NTA. She's only pissed because she can pretend she's healthier than she is if she doesn't actually have her own burger. Edited to add, thanks for the awards. AITA for saying to my brother that his kid's future isn't my problem. I, F23, lost my dad 3 years ago. It's been hard, and in that time I needed someone and none of my siblings were there for me. I have a different dad from them, and that kind of drove a wedge between them and me. He was in my life more than their dad was, and I guess for that they hated me. My dad was really well off, and in his will, he basically left everything to me. With the help of my uncle, I was able to learn what things needed to be done so I can claim what he left and learn how to properly manage a house and car. Anyways, it's a big house. It's 4-bedroom 2-bath. My best friend currently lives with me. I use the other 2 as a study room and art room. My brother, M31, has been talking to me lately about the house. He currently lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with his wife and 2 kids, 6 and 8. He's been looking for an upgrade and basically figured I'd be willing to sell the house to him. I told him I didn't want to sell the house but I'd help him look for one. He said no and that he wanted mine. His wife likes how spacious it is and the backyard is large enough for the kids to play and for them to get a dog. My brother went on about how I didn't need a house because I'm young and don't have a family, so it'll benefit him more than me. It was hard for me to say no but I did and felt bad enough about it. He and his wife have been calling and texting non-stop asking if I had changed my mind. The final straw was when my brother called and said I was putting my niece and nephew's future at stake by forcing them to be stuck in a small apartment when they need more space to learn and grow. I feel like I'm the asshole because my reply to that was their future is not my concern nor is it my problem, and I left it at that. My other brother says I'm being selfish to only think about myself and not care for my brother and his family. He agrees with him and believe I don't need a large house because it's just me, and they believe I don't know how to own a house like an adult. AITA - damn. I went to sleep and woke up with so many replies. My PMs are filled with people calling me a liar and a bad sister for putting my friend above my family. For one, I'm not lying. I'd never in 100 years lie about something like this. I was hesitant in posting because of this exact reason. I really can't prove him not lying without exposing personal details, so if you can't take my word for it, I'm sorry. And 2, my friend is the closest thing I had to having a sister. She was there for me through thick and thin. I read the comments and thank you for the tips and suggestions. I'm going to get in contact with my uncle today and talk to him about it, and if needed, I'll find a lawyer. Also, I do realize I could have worded it better and been, so I think I owe him an apology for that much. One more thing about the questions on why he wanted my house specifically. A lot of things come into play. All around it's in the perfect place as it's close to many places like grocery stores, schools, and close to his job. He did offer me a price once before but it was less than half of what the house was worth, and I already knew if I accepted it, I'd be a joke. And to add, thanks for the rewards, y'all are too nice. NTA. Their argument is basically give me your house, I want it. If they were willing to pay market rates they could find a house anywhere, but they don't. NTA. First, it's your house to do whatever you want with. Second, if he can afford a house of that size he can afford another house of that size. What he really means is sell me the house super cheap or even give me the house, and then, even money says he'd flip it in a couple of years anyway. Sorry you're having to go through this. What he really means is sell me the house super cheap or even give me the house, and then, even money says he'd flip it in a couple of years anyway. Exactly. I'd lay odds that there are plenty of 4-bed houses with large yards in the area, but only one whose owner the brother thinks he can badger into letting him have the house for a song because we're family. NTA, and they can fuck right off with their ridiculous entitlement. House is your inheritance, it's your home, and they have no right to make demands, or to try and guilt or manipulate you into selling. The only people not acting like adults in this situation is them. Not to mention, the house probably has huge sentimental value to Op as it was left to her by her deceased dad. I wouldn't be surprised if Op wanted to live there for the rest of her life, and raise her future kids in it. NTA. It's your house. Your house is not for sale. And JFC living in an apartment isn't the worst thing. Sounds like they just want a free house and have decided you are an easy target. Your brother's family is his concern. It is appalling that so many people in your family think you are being selfish for not giving up your home. There is some ageist bullshit going on here. If your brother wants a house, he and his wife can go looking at homes on the market and make an offer like every other adult, instead of trying to manipulate his little sister into giving up her home.